are continuing our anniversary series. This is our first year. We talked last time that we were going to share with you some things that were not so much fun about starting a business. So this is a little recap of year number 1.
And it's funny because actually we started in 2005 because you can't go live until you've done all your homework and done all the background work. So we were beginning to accumulate our jewelry pieces, and it was really fun because we just had pieces and we decided we're going to introduce this or we're not going to introduce that, just kind of weeding out what it is that we wanted to offer to our customers. And we had to create a catalog out of what we made, our selection. So I'm just going to show you. This was our very first catalog, and it has a date of 2006, although we used it in 2005. And I'm going to show you this lovely picture of us when we started the business. And then these are our little invitations that we created to invite our friends and family to our party, because that's how we thought you did it. You just invited your friends and family. So the first party we had in Diane's basement, and it was around Christmas, and it was just, we were so nervous, but we had a lot of jewelry there that we had placed in our line, and we had a lot of jewelry that we were just going to sell because it wasn't going to be in the line. But it took hours and nights and weekends. It was no big deal to go to Diane's house. We'd work all day, go home, quickly eat, change clothes, and I'm going to give you a little secret. I would put my pajamas on because I would sometimes be coming home 2 o'clock in the morning and climbing into bed after we'd worked all evening and all through the night. It was really a lot of work. People who say, oh, it's not hard to start your own business. I didn't experience that. It was a lot of effort.
Yeah, we had pages laid out all over my pool table in my basement. So, page 1, page 2, what jewelry was going to go on every page. The cover of the catalog was shot in my front yard. So we did that ourselves. It was so much work. And not only that, since we weren't just selling jewelry, we were starting this business where people could join. It was, like Dawn said, postcards, order forms, Excel sheets, how they were gonna, because back then you didn't have the software, so how they were gonna put their order in and how all of that was gonna be calculated. There were so many things to do, and so it took us, we worked all day and then we worked all night, and Dawn would scurry home at 2 in the morning, and then I would go and pick her up again in the morning. We would drive to work, I'd paint my nails, we would talk about everything that we did the night before, and then we would start it all over again. I don't know how we did it, but we made it.
And the truth is we had never been involved as representatives in a jewelry company, so we were reinventing the wheel. We had no idea what it required, so we just did everything the hard way. And I already showed you this catalog, and we actually we made an appointment with Creve Coeur Video over in St. Louis, Missouri, in Creve Coeur, and I think we had an hour and a half. We had a set time scheduled, so we took all of our pieces and all of our background pages, which honestly, they were placemats. We found these cute little placemats that we used to lay the jewelry out, and we had to get that thing shot by a photographer, and we had to go really quickly to get, oh goodness, how many pages are in here? We had 27 pages, I guess 28 with the total, but we had to go really quickly to get all that shot in a certain amount of time, and it was just the experience of our life. In addition to getting it shot, we had to get it produced. Oh my goodness, I'm just going to show you this. It should be in a vault. These first catalogs that we had created, because of our small numbers and because of our inexperience, they cost us about $50 a catalog.
And so we came up with this idea where we were going to use the flowers and the natural backgrounds, and had this catalog. And other companies used flowers. Lots of other companies used flowers. So we came up with this idea, and we had our very first website done, and that was created for us. We were so excited about it, and actually we were able to, I had somebody that I was working with at the law firm, and she did it for us for a great price, and it was beautiful.
Really nice. Really
yeah,
nice.
we loved it. And so when we launched, and I don't know if we really said that, and most of you know, but we were home party when we began, so we didn't really share that at the beginning. But when we launched our business, I mean, it looked downtown. I mean, it
yes.
really did.
Yes.
The
website
was
awesome.
beautiful. And shortly after we had created our website, the biggest competitor in the sterling silver business, which was the same company that I had seen before, they came out with a new website. And it looked really similar to ours, but we had just put the website out. Theirs came out, I don't know, maybe just a week or two
I think it was at least a month later.
Yeah.
Because there was a definite difference in time.
Yeah, and so definitely they didn't copy our website, but they did end up looking pretty similar. But ours actually came out first, and when we produced the catalog, the website, and brought all of that out, then something happened.
Yes, we received, it was September of 2006. We were just really exciting. Things were going well. We had reps joining, and we were really pleased with our jewelry and our catalog. And we received a letter from the owners of this, like Diane said, they were the largest sterling silver and gemstone jewelry direct sales company, telling us to cease and desist. And it rocked us because they wanted us to shut down our website. They wanted us to destroy our catalog, and they wanted us to send them all of our jewelry because they said that we had copied their designs, but none of that was true. But it really, really caused a severe shock to the system.
And back then, people believed, most sales representatives believed that this company that they were designing and creating and all of those pieces were copyrighted. But the truth of the matter is they were not, and almost all companies go through suppliers that are in other countries because silver isn't something that's typically made in the United States. So they told us that we had to stop. We had to send all of our pieces to them that they said were copied, which they were not. Mm-hmm. They were just came from the same manufacturer or a similar manufacturer, and they just wanted us to stop.
Yes.
So we told them, we replied back, and we said as nice as we could, we didn't have an attorney, we didn't have the money to get an attorney, but we addressed everything that they said that we did. And the first thing was the website, and we said, we did not copy your website. As a matter of fact, you can check and see that ours actually went live a month before yours, and they had a change in theirs. So we did not do that, but we will take down our catalog and recreate it, and we will stop selling the pieces that you say that we copied, which we did not, just because we went to an attorney and he said that's the easiest thing. He said, because if you don't have a couple $100,000 to start fighting this, they have deep pockets and they will fight. So just do what they say and go on. So we had to start all over again.
Right. We tossed out our catalog, and with many tears, many tears, we tossed out our hard created catalog, and they also had us to send the inventory of the pieces that they said we copied from them, which we didn't. We knew we were right, but we just didn't have the funds to fight. It would have bankrupted us. So we chose to send them what they asked for. And it's funny because I think they thought, because our website looked so good and this catalog was so good, they thought that we were really maybe their equal in the financial market. And we were just two girls who pulled together a couple $100 to start this business, and we're doing things really with a lot of hard work and a lot of lack of sleep. And so the thing is, because we were such small beginnings, we purchased one piece of everything that we displayed in our catalog. And then when we sold it, we'd buy two. And that's how we started our inventory. So when they requested our inventory, they may have got 2 pieces of one item, 4 pieces of another, 6 pieces of another. We didn't have a ton of inventory to send them, so they didn't wipe us out financially for our inventory. And we just trusted that we could do a better job with the catalog because now we were experienced. One catalog gave us all the experience that we needed. And in fact, it's funny, this first catalog, when it was shot a little crooked, and Diane was saying, what are we going to do? How are we going to redo that? We can't pay another photographer. I said, well, we'll just put borders on it.
We can't put a border on it. We're not putting a border on it.
So we worked through all of those things. And because we were creating our own postcards and creating our own, there had to be literature for representatives. We would shoot those, and I had this little program called Publisher. And what I did was, because I just didn't like that I was short and stout, I was a little teapot, I would take the pictures and I'd stretch them out. And Diane looked really tall and thin, and she is tall and thin, but I looked just fine. So it's funny, the things that we went through to create. And we had reps that continued to join in spite of our inexperience and our shortcomings. But that cease and desist, I have to tell you, it really rocked our world and the world of Inspiranza, which I'm going to tell you just as a little recap. Inspiranza is a combination of 2 words. Esperanza, which means hope in Spanish, and inspiration. So it was hope and inspiration. Inspiranza Designs. So for them to come at us to say that we were copiers, cheaters, that we had infringed upon them, none of it was true, and it went so against our core.
Yeah, it was rough. It was really rough times in the early years, but we just had, our name was Inspiranza. We had hope. God was going to get us through. He called us to do the business. We even had times when, like we said, we were purchasing from manufacturers, and sometimes they would just discontinue something. And we were like, what are we going to do? It's in our catalog.
We'll just make a little sticker. We'll just cover that piece and say, stickers not available.
And then we even went to wholesale jewelry companies that had something that was almost exactly the same. And we would provide that. So it was just always, it seemed like we had to figure out a way to get through this little hurdle that was coming. But I'll have to say that at the end of 2 years, we had hit over $1 million in sales, and we were on cloud 9. This little business that we had put together was finally working. So we were so excited. But I'll have to say, we're going to have another video to share with you what happened next, and it wasn't so good. We had more rough times to come, so we're going to share that with you next.
Stay tuned, more to share.